Hello, I'm Representative Jake Fye, Chair of the House Transportation Committee. There's nothing more basic to daily life than getting people to work and school, and getting goods to market, whether it applies to apples or airplanes. Our state's transportation system does that vital job while tying together every corner of the great state of Washington, the most trade-dependent state in the Union. Jobs here depend on getting apples, wheat, software, and airplanes to markets around the world through our transportation network. Yet that network is under great stress with a huge population boom due to our state's white-hot economy. If you live on the west side of the state, you see the problem every day. And if you live on the east side, you see farmers and orchard owners losing money as their crops sit in traffic on the way to market. We need a transportation system that works for all of Washington state, because our highways, ferries, and mass transit systems work as a system. Problems and clogs in one region ripple out to affect the entire state. To get goods to market and people where they need to go, our transportation network has to work everywhere. So what challenges face us in the 2019 session, and how do we work together to solve them? The first problem is capacity. Families moving here every day have to find houses, often far from their jobs, and get to work every morning. It only takes a few months to get that job, find a house, and add to the number of people using our highways, ferries, and trains. Yet it takes years to design and build a transportation project, whether it's a new train station, ferry terminal, or a highway interchange. The second challenge is funding, because how we pay for transportation has to change. For decades, our state has relied on gas taxes, with cars getting better and better gas mileage and people switching to electric vehicles. Gas tax revenues are flat or declining despite more cars on the road. Ford, VW, and other car manufacturers are talking about not if, but when they stop making gas and diesel engines and make the permanent switch to electric cars. So we need to have a serious discussion about different options for paying for transportation, whether that's by tolls for roads that are used, paying for the miles you actually drive, or some other change. And it means adjusting to that new reality by building charging stations people need across the state. The third issue is how we fund trains, buses, ferries, carpools, van pools, and other alternatives to people driving alone on our highways. Gas taxes have traditionally paid for highways. Mass transit and other options get funded by people paying fares and other sources of revenue. As lawmakers, our goal is to make sure you can get where you need to go, whether it's by car, bus, train, ferry, bicycle, or by foot. And even if you prefer driving on the highway, giving other people these options makes your commute easier, because it's the most efficient way of taking cars off the road. The most expensive way to spend dollars is to build more lanes of highway, which isn't even an option in many of the worst choke points in cities like Tacoma and Seattle, where we don't have the physical space to add lanes. The fourth challenge this session is due to a U.S. Supreme Court decision on tribal fishing rights and salmon, which means the state needs to fix or replace a large number of culverts under state highways to let fish pass through. Finally, how we handle transportation issues is interwoven with having a clean environment and fighting the effects of climate change. The decisions we make will determine whether our families breathe in pollution or clean air, and whether Washington State lags behind or continues to lead the way on innovation and reform. I believe in the people, businesses, and nonprofits of this great state. We have some of the most brilliant scientists and engineers in the world. And if we listen to each other and work together, there's no challenge we can't solve. This is Representative Jake Fye, Chair of the House Transportation Committee, and I hope to hear from you and work with you very soon.